What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over social media at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, it would mean a ton if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is Friday, January 3rd. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope your week is going good. Hope you had a good start to the year. Thus far, 3 days in, we're 2 days out from Packers-Bears, Lambeau Field, in a game that, sure, has some implications. Nothing too crazy. We'll need some help from the Cowboys to beat the Commanders if we want to be the 6th seed rather than the 7th seed. The Cowboys are not doing so hot. For that to happen, we need to beat the Bears. And the Cowboys need to beat Washington. So with the shape that the Cowboys are in right now and combine that with how well Washington has been playing, I don't necessarily see that happening, but you never know. Anything can happen. So, but as it stands right now, we are the 7th seed, and we'll be heading to Philadelphia to play the Eagles in the wild card round next weekend. Josh Jacobs talked a little bit yesterday after practice, saying he won't be carrying too big of a load on Sunday. He said he does not expect to get 30 carries or anything near that. He wants to play, of course, but I suspect that we'll see him in there on the first few drives, and that is probably it. Christian Watson, same situation with him. He'll have to get some sort of work in today to have a shot to play on Sunday. Those are coach's words after practice. I doubt he'll go. Seems like anybody that is banged up or dealing with an injury will most likely not play a lot if they are active or not at all. So we need a healthy Christian Watson for the playoffs. So I'm okay with him not playing this weekend if that ends up being the case. As we all know by now, Jair Alexander out for the year after he will be having surgery on his injured knee. Jair has kind of been the forefront of pretty much Packers talk over the last month or two. You know, when is he coming back? Is he practicing? Is he practicing in full? Is he limited? We've been kind of monitoring that with a microscope, it seems like, over the last couple months. And I know that some folks were trying to kind of read between the lines and maybe say that there is more than meets the eye with that situation. And although that would make for some juicy conversation, right, I simply think it just didn't heal the way it was supposed to. I think they both had hopes that he could opt out of the surgery route and rehab it to come back and play at some point this year. They tried that. He came back for the Bears game, played 10 snaps and got pulled. So, yeah, clearly that did not happen. Coach said he's been dealing with some swelling. And so, yeah, therefore he will be done for the year, getting surgery on the knee. Hate to see that for Jair. You hate to see it for our defense. All around, nobody wins from the outcome of this situation. Now, will we see him in a Packers uniform ever again? I don't know. I know there's a bunch of money tied to him, and the whole situation kind of opening a can of worms. I'm not a huge cap space guy, but I know there's $18 million in dead cap that in cap space that will hit regardless if he's on the team or not this next year. But when he's healthy, he's one of the better corners in the league. So if they can figure something out to ensure that he can stay healthy, I know that's the goal with every single player. Not always going to happen. Obviously, they play a contact sport. Injuries are just a part of the game. Unfortunately for him, he's been missing more than half of the games over the last few years. So we'll get to that situation when the time comes. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time this offseason to talk about Jair and whether he will be back or not. Looks like we will be rocking with Carrington Valentine, Eric Stokes, and Keyshawn Nixon at cornerback throughout the playoffs. So cross your fingers. Without further ado, let's hop into the comment section here. And as always, the Nicolet Law hotline is now live. If you want to be a part of the show, you got a Packers question, you got a Packers comment, you got something you want to get off your chest, like my man Phil in the chat here. Give me a call. I'm taking your calls now on the Nicolet Law hotline. I would love to hear from you. Phil, starting us off, speaking of reading between the lines, Gary, a Pro Bowler, question mark. Guess those lines happen to be the Bermuda Triangle. Morning, Rob. Morning, Phil. Yeah, that's I won't ever complain about somebody making the Pro Bowl, of course, right? Yeah, Rashawn Gary making it was a little bit of a shock to me. I'm not going to say he's been having a bad year by any means, but he's definitely having a down year. I know he's affecting the game in other places like the run game. He's been doing very well in run defense. As far as getting the quarterback on the ground, not so much, and that's obviously what we paid him to do. So hopefully this Pro Bowl nod will light a fire under him a little bit, and he can maybe start racking up some sacks, right? Starting this weekend against the Bears. So, and yeah, my man Minnesota Joe's in here. Yeah, he gets doubled and tripled as much as any premier defensive lineman. Yeah, he gets a lot of focus on him, as does Kenny Clark. Part of the reason why we haven't been hearing their names as much this year, but just the pass rush overall has kind of taken a hit. We haven't been very productive in that area this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that can change because with our back end dealing with some injuries, no Jair, no Evan Williams, at least for this weekend. Javon Bullard coming off what seemed to be a pretty serious ankle injury. I was kind of surprised that he went last weekend against the Vikes. Didn't have his best game, and maybe that was because he was still kind of coming back from that ankle injury. But if we can get some pass rush rolling, that'll help out the guys in the back end a lot. So hopefully, like I said, I won't complain about Rashawn Gary getting a Pro Bowl. I know other fans were a little surprised to see he got the nod, but hey, it is what it is, right? So Phil, Minnesota Joe, thank you guys for hopping in the chat. Have yourself a great Friday. Friday. I love me some Fridays. Haley, how's the injury report looking? Haley, shout out to you. I did forget to go through a practice update from yesterday. So here we go. Christian Watson, who we talked about earlier, went through the stretching portion, but that was it. Quay Walker did not practice. Evan Williams did not practice. Zane Anderson, who went down with a concussion against Minnesota. That was a pretty big hit. Crazy to even say that sentence. He did not practice. Brenton Cox Jr. and Andre Dillard also did not practice. So I said a few minutes ago, but I think that any guy dealing with anything probably will not be playing Sunday. So at least I am expecting to not see any of those guys we just mentioned until next weekend in the playoffs at the earliest. That includes Christian Watson. I know Coach said he's got to get some work in at least today if he wants to have a shot at playing on Sunday. And I would assume that he will not play on Sunday. That's my guess. I've got no inside sources. I've got nothing. I'm just a fan talking to my office with you guys. So don't take my word for it. But excuse me, I would not expect to see any of those guys go on Sunday. So we need a healthy Christian Watson. So I would be fine if we did not see him until next weekend in the wild card round, which we will most likely be heading to Philadelphia. And I'm okay with that. Getting the 6th seed would be nice too, going to play the Rams, possibly the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, however, Baker Mayfield is having quite the year. So would I rather play Baker Mayfield or Jalen Hurts? That's funny that we got to ask that question because typically, obviously, we would most likely always choose Baker Mayfield. But, man, this year, and with the recent Tampa Bay playoff luck we've had a couple of years back, I wouldn't mind going out and playing the Eagles, getting a statement win right off the bat and kind of kickstarting what will hopefully be a playoff run for us this year. So Egan, kind of same as me, my man. They shouldn't play until next week for the playoffs. I agree. Minnesota Joe going to have to put up some points because our defense is cooked, in my opinion. Joe, the defense has been frustrating, right? I think it's just complimentary football that we are not playing because, just take last week, for example. We get the ball first. We're driving. The score is, or the drive that we're on is looking pretty promising. It seemed like it was going to end up in a score one way or the other, whether it was a touchdown or a field goal. And then Josh Jacobs puts the ball on the mat and we turn it over. The defense, however, stepped up. We get the ball back. We go 3-and-out. And then, boom, the defense steps up again. And we get the ball back. We go down and score a field goal. A little progress there. Wish we would have went for it, right? And if we would have went for it and didn't get it, then you'll hear me say, we should have took the points. It's always fun to play that hindsight is 2020 game. But yeah, our defense pretty injury riddled. And right now, at least, I do not think, at least right now, we are a championship defense. Hopefully, with our guys, hopefully coming back sooner rather than later. And maybe a statement win on Sunday, little confidence booster, get some guys back for the playoffs. And then, we'll be tested against the Eagles. We'll have to step up. And if we can perform in that game, I'll hop back on board as far as saying our defense is a championship defense. Because right now, I don't think we are. But we can get there if we can shut down the Eagles in 2 weeks or whoever we end up playing. So hopefully that is the case, Joe. I know you're with me on that one. So appreciate you, Joe. Lewis, I've been engaging with more Lions fans this year than any other rival fans. Lewis, they've been creeping out of the woodwork for quite some time now, haven't they? They've had a pretty good run here. I will say, over the last 2 seasons, only one playoff win to show for it. And even worse, an NFC Championship choke job against the 49ers. Now, we know more than anybody how it hurts to choke or to lose in that game. But, I'll let the Lions fans enjoy this stretch here because I'm sure it is exciting, at least right now, in the moment. But if you don't win at all, ultimately it means absolutely nothing. So unfortunately, I say that, and we can all join in together in saying that with experience, right? We've had a lot of success over the last 15 years with nothing to show for it. So, yeah, my wish is to face either Minnesota or Detroit at some point in the playoffs and send them home. Shoot, maybe send them both home. That would be the ultimate hush-up moment, wouldn't it? Both having great years, franchise record years, all to get sent home by the actual king of the North during a time when we had the youngest, the least experience, and youngest, least experienced team in NFL history. So, Joe, revenge tour, Philly, Minnesota, Detroit in the playoffs. Book it. I'm gonna do that with you, Joe. Except I would rather play Detroit in the second round. I'm hoping the Lions win on Sunday night. I would rather have them be the 1 seed. I would rather go back to Ford Field and play there. US Bank is just so tough to play in for any team. And I definitely, if there's one team that I do not want to see have any sort of success in the playoffs, it is the Vikings. They are still by far and away and will always be my least favorite NFL team, my least favorite NFC North team. And if Minnesota gets the 1 seed, I think they'll have a pretty decent shot at kind of going on a little run. Just think 2 home wins away from the Super Bowl. That just doesn't sit right with me. So I hope the Lions win on Sunday night. I hope Minnesota gets the 5 seed and has to play, who would they play? The 4 seed, right? And that would probably be the Falcons. Is that who it is right now? I couldn't even tell you. So, that's where I'm at. Hopefully, we'll play Philly first round. We'll take them out. And then secondly, Joe, you're with me. Yep. Hopefully the Lions in Ford Field. I think we've got a pretty good shot to go back there and kind of avenge our field goal loss in the final seconds just a few weeks ago. So Minnesota, I hear you. Living in Minnesota, don't want to hear Minnesota fans. Yeah, me neither. Down here in Iowa, about 5 hours south from Lambeau, and it is majority Vikings fans here. I don't know why. I don't get it. But hopefully the Vikings lose Sunday night, and then hopefully they turn around and lose right away in the playoffs because I don't like them. So simple as that. Marcia, Kirby Joseph getting snubbed is so funny to me. I saw that yesterday, Marcia. Kirby Joseph, I will say, is a dang good safety. He's just made some questionable plays during this season, which prevented him from getting the Pro Bowl votes needed to be a Pro Bowler. So the fans voted for him, of course. And when it came down to the coaches and players, he didn't get the votes needed. So bummer, right? Maybe next year, Kirby. So, all right, guys, let's get the fact of the day rolling. It is a good one. You're going to like it.
It's time for your Green Bay Packers Fact of the Day. Brought to you by TickPick. TickPick guarantees to have the lowest prices on Packers tickets. If you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, TickPick will give you 110% of your money back. If you want $20 off your next ticket order, use the code PACKERS20 at checkout. That's PACKERS20. This promo code can only be used in the app, so be sure to download the TickPick app today.
All right. Pro Bowl. Speaking of Pro Bowl, Rashawn Gary, Josh Jacobs, and Xavier McKinney all voted to the Pro Bowl this year. We talked about it earlier. Big shout out to Josh Jacobs. He's been our best player all year long on both sides of the ball, at least in my opinion. Xavier McKinney, big shout out to him. Been a leader on the defensive side of the ball and had those early interceptions to get him up to, I think he's at 7, if I remember correctly. Been a while. But as Jeff Halfley talked about it yesterday, although he's not getting the picks, he's simply not getting a whole lot of targets in his area. So hopefully he can grab one this weekend, and more importantly, in the playoffs in abundance. So, and also shout out to Rashawn Gary. Had a little kind of a down year so far, but still affecting the game in other ways. So shout out to those guys, and shout out to TickPick for partnering up with myself. I used TickPick for the Packers-Cardinals game back in October. I used TickPick for the Packers-Dolphins game on Thanksgiving night. And I was thinking about using them this weekend for the Bears game, but I think we're going to be watching from home this weekend. But anyways, they put their money where their mouth is. They guarantee the cheapest Packers tickets on the market. And if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will give you 110% of your money back. Download the TickPick app and use the code Packers20 for $20 off your order. Chuck, yeah, I need to plug for the jerseys. Please shoot me a DM, Chuck. Got me the salute to service style here rocking today. My man Ivan's in the chat. Ivan, we got to link up, don't we? I've been dropping the ball on that one. Absolutely. What else we got going on here? Lala, he has 7 interceptions. Yes, Xavier McKinney is sitting at 7. Thank you for that correction there. Well-deserved Pro Bowl nod for Xavier. Happy for him. And Jeff Halfley was talking about it yesterday. He's still pretty young. And we're only just kind of scratching the surface on the kind of player that he's going to be and he can become. So, yeah, I'm excited he's on our squad, right? Shout out to the Giants for letting him walk. And shout out to Goody for picking him up. So, thankful to have Xavier on our team for sure. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today as far as the show goes. But as you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything and everything Packers related all day long. So please follow me at GBP Daily on every social platform. If you are not already, it would mean a ton if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel at GBP Daily as well. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you then. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.